Good morning, students. It's Mrs. Ruvalcaba again. Okay, let's get started. And here's my presentation for the week. Welcome to week 2 of distance learning. This is my recorded lesson. Let's talk about the agenda. First, we will talk about the attendance. Next, knowing your schedule. And the third, the assignment overview. For the attendance, I need to tell you guys a reminder every single day to only do it once per day. If you haven't done so in your advisory class, make sure you do so as soon as possible. I do have the link on my Google Classroom as well. Now, knowing your schedule, you can find your schedule through the link at the distance learning directory. It's going to look like this. As you can see, all of your teachers have their links to their classes. And at the bottom over here, we've got the Google Classroom codes in case you lose my class for some reason or for your other classes. Also, the weekly schedule is right here in case you still are not aware of the weekly schedule from now on for distance learning up until the end of the year, until we make more changes, as what always happens for Simon Tech. But let's all be open to any changes that comes towards our way. Okay, now let's go back to my lesson over here. The recorded lessons for Mondays will be for periods 1, 3, and 5. They will also be available on Tuesdays for periods 4 and 6. So for those days of the recorded lessons, make sure you click on my periods for your class attendance for Mondays and Tuesdays when you watch my recorded lessons. Yes, you still have to click on those periods. I am not live during these times, but you can still ask questions directly on Google Classroom for those assignments as a private message. You can watch the videos at your leisure. It's preferable you watch the videos before my flex hour of that day though, okay? I will be live during flex hours on Mondays and Tuesdays from 2:15 to 3 o'clock p.m. if you have any questions about that assignment. Now for my live sessions, for Wednesdays, that's for periods 1, 3, and 5. For Thursday, that's for periods 4 and 6. And the optional office hours will be on Fridays, 12:45 to 1:30 p.m. Again, you're going to have to click on my periods for your class attendance for Wednesdays and Thursdays. I will have a Google Forms survey for you to fill out as evidence you attended my class on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Or at the very least, you checked in on Google Classroom on these days, even if you did not ask any questions during my live sessions. These live sessions will consist of me going over the assignment in more detail and also to answer any questions you have. I will guide you on how to find those answers and also do some practice problems. Now, this is the assignment that I want you guys to do this week that's going to be due before midnight on Sunday. 4.4 Electrochemistry. And it's going to look like this. It should be available to you right now. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Okay. And as you can see for this assignment, let's make it consistent all throughout the year. I have the objective and the standard. There are 3 parts to this. Part A, you're going to watch this video on water electrolysis. So click on the YouTube video right there. It's going to look like that. Also, I've been playing around with other websites. This is similar to Play Posits if you have Mr. Milius. So if you have access to Edpuzzle, you can answer your questions directly onto the video here. And I have already linked all of my Google Classroom periods to Play Posits. So what happens here, you've got the videos here, and at every checkpoint there is a question that you can type your answers in directly. So if you have access to this, please go ahead and write down your answers here, and I will look back through Edpuzzle to see if you have done it. Otherwise, if you don't have access to it, you can go ahead and watch the video that I linked up here on YouTube and answer these 4 questions. And I have the timestamps for each one of those to help guide you. Once you are done with part A, go on to part B. You're going to read the following passage. Yes, we still have literacy in class. And also, if you click on each bolded blue term, it's going to take you to a link with visuals and definition. For example, there's a bolded blue term here on oxidation. You can go ahead and click on that, and it's going to take you to Google Discovery. So you're going to have to sign in for that. And it's got the animation for you, details as in the definitions, and also more images for those of you that need extra images and extra guidance on some of these vocabulary terms. Okay. So make sure you read the following passage and answer the text-directed questions. I've added them for you here. So for these text-directed questions, you see that there's a question here. Obviously, you're going to have to look for the answer in the previous section above that. For this next two over here, you can find the answers for this in the previous section, like over here. Atoms that lose electrons undergo what? It should be found over here. There are 6 text-directed questions for that one. Once you are done with that one, part C, go on to the third and final part of your assignment here. This is the big one. What are the similarities and differences between electrolytic and voltaic cells? For you guys who have done the assignment the previous week, voltaic is actually another term for galvanic cell. Okay? So that's another term for galvanic cell. Now, what I want you to do for these is to watch the videos. There are 2 videos, a video for the voltaic cell and a video for the electrolytic cell. As you watch each video, I want you to write down or type in 4 notes for each one, at least 4 notes. You may do more than 4 bulleted notes for each if you like. And once you are done with that, hopefully these notes that you have taken will answer these last 2 questions. And these 2 questions are worth 2 points each. You are looking to answer the question, what are the similarities between the voltaic and electrolytic cells? Give at least 2 similarities and that'll be 2 points. What are the differences between the voltaic and electrolytic cells? And give at least 2 differences, and that one will be worth 2 points. Okay, so that is the overview for the assignment. Let's go back to my presentation. Where's my presentation? Okay. Now, the next part that I'm going to do for this video is a text read aloud, and that is optional. All right? If you don't need to watch me read aloud, you may stop the video and start your assignment now. If you have additional questions, I'll see you during my flex hours later today. If not, see you during the live sessions on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you don't need me to read aloud, you can go ahead and stop. Otherwise, keep watching. All right, let's do the text read aloud for those of you who want to watch me read aloud. Okay. Objective. Students will be able to determine the similarities and differences between voltaic and electrolytic cells by watching videos, reading the text, studying the vocabulary and visuals, and demonstrating understanding by answering the embedded questions. Standard, HSPS 1-2. Construct and revise an explanation for the outcome of a simple chemical reaction. So, you're going to watch this video here or do the Ed puzzle here and type in your answers directly. These are the questions. 1. Why is there baking soda in the water? What happens to a water molecule when electricity flows through it? Why is there twice as much hydrogen gas as there is oxygen gas? What is another piece of evidence from the video that a chemical reaction is occurring? For that one, you're just going to have to remember the 5 evidences that a chemical reaction is occurring. It could be color change, gas or bubbles are forming, a smell or a gas is forming. Okay, you just need to go back and try to remember what those pieces of evidence are. Part B. Chemical energy and redox reactions. All matter contains energy stored in the chemical bonds that join particles together to form compounds. This energy has the potential to do work. Chemical potential energy is related to changes of the atoms involved in a chemical reaction. Electrochemistry is the study of how chemical energy is transformed into electrical energy. TDQ number 1. What is electrochemistry? During some chemical reactions, electrons are transferred from one atom to another. The atoms that lose electrons are said to undergo oxidation. The atoms that gain electrons are said to undergo reduction. A way to remember this is the mnemonic, Leo the lion goes grr. Loss of electron is oxidation, and gain of electrons is reduction. As you can see, the L stands for loss, E for electrons, O for oxidation, and G for gain, E for electrons, and R for reduction. TDQ number 2. Atoms that lose electrons undergo blank. Make sure you find the answer. TDQ number 3. Atoms that gain electrons undergo blank. You can find the answers in the previous section. Remember to click on oxidation and reduction if you forgot what those terms mean. Oxidation-reduction reactions are reactions in which electrons are exchanged and are often referred to as redox reactions. In a redox reaction, the reducing agent is the substance that gives up electrons. It is what is being oxidized. The reducing agent causes something to gain electrons. The oxidizing agent is the substance that gains electrons. It is what is being reduced. The oxidizing agent causes something to lose electrons. TDQ 4. What is a redox reaction? TDQ 5. What is the reducing agent? TDQ 6. What is the oxidizing agent? Part C. What are the similarities and differences between electrolytic and voltaic cells? Watch these videos and take bulleted notes of each one. You may do more than 4 bulleted notes for each. The first one is voltaic cell. The second one is electrolytic cell. Answer these questions, 4 points total. 1. What are the similarities between the voltaic and electrolytic cells? Give at least 2 similarities, 2 points. 2. What are the differences between the voltaic and electrolytic cells? Give at least 2 differences, 2 points. And just a reminder, voltaic cell also means galvanic cell. All right? Make sure you go to my flex hours and live sessions if you have any questions on any of these. See you tomorrow. Bye.